welcome to the WrestleSlam Podcast, your midweek episode. It's the post AEW Dynamite Grand Slam show. Big news coming out of Grand Slam this week. Before we get into it, just some other big news towards AEW that the rumor is that CM Punk will not resign, will not be coming back to AEW. He may be getting paid off or bought out of his contract, and we may never see him in a wrestling ring again, never mind AEW ring again. Phil, what do you think of this news or this rumor?
It was coming, but like it's a sad. I know a lot of people are saying good riddance and this, but it's a sad way to end. Such I know he's had some career. If you bring up all his highlights and all the things he's done, it's a sad way for him to go. And do you know what? It's his own fault.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So like he seems to piss off a lot of people, like we talked about already. Like, he doesn't get along with a lot of people. He has his own clique of people that he seems to get along with, like FTR and Moxley, maybe. I'm not sure what their relationship was like, but before the rumor started, he was pissing off people before the backstage brawl even happened, that he was lining up with FTR. But I don't know where he goes from here. Like, he did a couple of acting roles, and the girl in the third floor, was that the film?
Yeah, that was him. Yeah, he did that last year.
It was actually an alright film, but I'm not sure if he's going to go back in the acting. I know he's lined up for the second season of Heels. That's
a good one.
Started production. I'm not sure it's got a release date yet, but they have started production. I know he has signed up for a couple of episodes of that. Whether he's going to be able to, if he's injured, I'm not sure. But it'd be sad if we never get to see him in the ring again, regardless of what backstage with people. It's
just, and the thing is, like, even if Ring of Honor was still around, he would probably went there, like if they weren't owned by Tony Khan.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, he's
kind of black. He's going to be blackballed from major promotions.
Well, how do you think Tony Khan's going to react to this? Like, if he, since it's all calmed down now, and we haven't seen the ratings yet. Like, we're predicting, like, AEW is going to smash the ratings this week at 1.3 or 4 million at least. They could even get close to the rating Raw had on Monday night. That's
brilliant.
That was a fantastic build up, like the matches they had and everything that was built up to all title matches, which is very rare for an episode of Dynamite. Even Clash of the not Clash of the Champions, what do they call it, their Battle of the Belts.
Oh, Clash of the Champions, yeah.
Their Battle of the Belts doesn't even have many titles on the line for it. So, this is a pay-per-view quality, episode of Dynamite for free. And,
and they delivered, because it was the best one in a long time.
Oh, it was so good. And it was so refreshing that, there was no worries about backstage shit, and everybody was just focused on all the matches. It was just boom, 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 boom. There was very little backstage stuff. It was just match. And a few surprises here and there, like, but outside of CM Punk news, some other news, maybe you mentioned that Tyson Fury and
Triple H really pushing to get him.
Saudi Arabia, or
I think that's too soon, because he's a fight doesn't.
Yeah, is it confirmed with Josh? Or
I think he's going to fight Josh in December, and I think WrestleMania is the best bet. I also saw a very weird rumor today, and I don't know if this cannot be true, but Bad Bunny and Reigns
in a match,
Royal Rumble, yeah, at
each other.
Yeah.
No, come on, no way.
Yeah, I saw that. I was reading on Twitter. Maybe it's fake or whatever, but I was reading on Twitter.
Logan Paul's one thing, but Logan Paul's 6'4" legit athlete. He's built like a tank. Like, I know he's not Roman Reigns level, like, but Bad Bunny is what 5'7".
I know, yeah.
150 pounds soaking wet. Like,
there's no way. I know, yeah. It was just something I came across, and I thought there's no way. That's true.
I would put Pat McAfee in there before I put Bad Bunny in there.
That's true.
Pat come back after Super Bowl season, after the football's over in January, or he's not doing the Saturday morning stuff. He can come back in commentary, and him against Roman Reigns in the Royal Rumble could happen, because he'll be, the football season will be coming down. Then all that's left is the Super Bowl in February, so you won't have to do weekly episodes.
I'd rather see that now than him against Seth Rollins.
Well, he'll be back in January, so I would prefer that than fucking Bad Bunny. I'm not against Bad Bunny. I know he worked his ass off at that WrestleMania and he looked the part, but that was in a tag team where he was protected by 3 other lads. Like,
exactly.
You know, put him in a tag team match at WrestleMania, gladly, I'd watch it. In Hollywood, massive. They're going to have there are going to be a lot of celebrities involved in WrestleMania in Hollywood.
It's true. Jake and Logan Paul are going to tag team, I betcha.
Yeah, well, put them against fucking Pat McAfee and Bad Bunny in a tag match, or
there you go.
Celebrity, like.
Exactly. That sounds good.
You know, bring back Snooki.
Apparently, Trish Stratus was training for a return, but she got injured. Just on Snooki because
I've seen she had an operation or something, did she?
Yeah, she appendix bust, I think.
Oh fuck.
So she probably would have came back pretty soon. Yeah, it's a weird one. There's so much happening, and there's so many injuries as well. It's kind of.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people want to work for WWE now. There's a lot of people like, the way things are going, it's more appealing for them to come back now as it was before.
The toxic environment's gone, yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's easier for people to return. And I know Vince was all nostalgia and he loved bringing back all the old school boys and having fucking, the Raw anniversary shows and whatever else he was putting on. But they were all just, ratings bumps. There were never really any storylines to where they could actually bring people back now and actually have them in a proper story and a few more than just 1 week.
Yeah, true. The other kind of news, I suppose, Halloween Havoc is officially announced.
22nd of October, is it?
Of October, yeah. So that should be an interesting one.
And we finally we tried to spot. We didn't spoil it last week, but we can talk about it now. Dragunov is back in NXT.
Class. He's so good.
To the title match.
It's a way to protect him because he won't get pinned. So it's a good. I think it works.
Would you put the title on him, or is the time for Braun Breaker? Is he still going to keep it?
I see. That's a tricky one because Braun is so good. Like, he's so good. Do you want to just give him the extra 6 months and make debut the night after WrestleMania? Or debut at WrestleMania even?
Braun Breaker versus Goldberg for the NXT title.
There we go.
That's been in the pipeline since Vince was around.
Speaking of Braun Breaker, did you see the Steiners are on 3 for table for 3?
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! That'll be
Rick
class.
And Splash. But do you know the only thing I don't like about them is they're only like 6 minutes. They're very short.
They're very short. They're heavily edited as well. They cut a lot of stuff out of it.
But yeah, I look forward to that one.
The Undertaker one with the Bone Skull crew was fucking very good though.
Very good. They did one there with the Shield as well before Moxie left out like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
Just looking at all the news. Ric Flair wants another match apparently.
No, I saw that too. Ricky Steamboat's coming back out of retirement. He was like, Ric Flair was like, "Ooh, maybe I should come back out of retirement." No, you should be in the retirement home with fucking Grandpa Simpson now. Like,
I know, yeah.
Stop, put the fucking joint down, leave Mike Tyson alone, and just sit down and retire. Just enjoy yourself. Feet up, you've earned it. Put your feet up, put the TV on, and just stay there and just swallow and whatever else you're doing. If they get smoke your brains out, do whatever you want. Just don't get off the couch. Just stay there. Save yourself.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't think there's anything other big news.
No, I don't think so. Not out of not since Monday or Tuesday. That's not since NXT. But the big news, the big show, AEW Grand Slam. They really had a Grand Slam. They hit it out of the park.
They needed to, and they really did.
Yeah, it was top to bottom. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for Meltzer's reviews. Like, how many stars people are going to get.
There's so much good stuff on this, and a lot of nice surprises.
Yeah, well, let's get into it. Formerly Cesaro, Claudio against Jericho. Did you think Jericho winning was the right decision? Was it a mistake?
The child inside me loves that he won.
Yeah.
Because he never held that belt and he was never going to unless some miracle happened, which it has happened. So
Yeah.
I'm happy he won, but maybe it's the wrong move.
I'm sad that Claudio lost it so soon. I know he's only had it for a while, but I think there's more to it other than giving Jericho the record that nobody's ever going to hold ever again. I know records are meant to be broken, but I can't see, that can't be broken because nobody's gonna go unless
He's
they really
just missing the Impact World Belt. If he got the Impact World Belt,
yeah. But do you think they've got a deal for Ring of Honor TV and they want Jericho to be the champion going into, or be, Jericho's your champion? This is TV.
That's a smart move if that's what they're thinking.
Well, I think that'd be a good decision. Like, how do you broker a deal with a TV network? Who's your champion? Chris Jericho. Oh yeah, you can't go Claudio Castelloni. It's like they're like, Cesaro. You can't call him Cesaro. So Jericho is
spot on.
Good match though, isn't it?
Oh, this match was so good, and just everything about it just kept building and building. I liked the Kerry Silken bit of heat.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure what his involvement is. Like, has he got any involvement with the Ring of Honor that Tony Khan has?
It's got such a good deal on Tony Khan.
Give him money to show up once. Yeah,
it's like he probably just said we need you for a little small thing we're doing. Who knows? Kerry, he might be involved in the future of the booking.
Possibly.
I love Daniel Garcia, I think, at the end as well.
Yeah. They're obviously building something up there. Like they could have. I'm not sure what they would do. And eventually, surely we're going to get the feud between Garcia and Jericho.
It wouldn't surprise me if it's a final battle for the Ring of Honor World Belts.
Put both titles on the line.
Could be.
Give it to Garcia. If they haven't got the TVD by then, if they have, then keep it on Jericho. Like
I think Tony Khan would want to get a TV deal in place by time NXT Europe starts.
Yeah. Oh, they need something. Actually, when you mention Europe, there is talks of AEW coming to Craven Cottage. That's getting a bit closer.
Next summer, maybe.
They'll have to judge it with the weather, because Craven Cottage is wide open.
Oh yeah, there's no roof on it.
Yeah, where the shed comes in, where the players come in through, and it's wide open to the elements, and it's right on the river as well. So they're going to have a hot fucking summer. This summer would have been perfect for it.
Yeah, I suppose they can't really plan it too far in advance because you don't know.
Yeah, and they've struck a deal as well. Sorry, I mentioned that with ITV4 for this Friday night. If you're watching this now, or if you watch it at 9 o'clock on Friday, that Rampage is going to be shown at a normal hour for people over here at this side of the Atlantic. You can
at a good time.
Yeah, 9 p.m. on ITV4. So this episode of the podcast might actually drop while Rampage is going on. So flick between them if you want, or put this on your phone and watch Rampage.
That's outstanding, actually.
Don't read the spoilers.
So that means, technically they are getting the show before the Americans.
Yeah, they are. ITV4, ITV or ITV4.
Is that every week?
And I think it's just this week because it's a 2-hour show. They're trying something out. Big news though.
Yeah, it's very good news because there's good stuff on it. There's good matches.
The spoilers are pretty good.
Yeah, and there's a lights out match, and
it's 2 hours of Rampage, like so.
And Sammy Guevara and Eddie finally got their we won't
say what happened, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into the tag team match. How over are they Acclaimed?
They're unbelievable. Like, because I wasn't a big fan of the Acclaimed for a long time. Those cheap raps were like irritating. Something clicked in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
It was when the Gun Club turned on them, and they went face, and because they were officially face, then people could actually cheer. And people were cheering them anyway. Like they were going in with wherever city they were, that Anthony Bowens was shouting. Like people loved that. Like the Claim have arrived stuff. Everybody was into that either way. Like, and some of Max Caster's raps were pretty good. Like a lot of them were just raps, but now he's fully into it, and everybody's fully into it. The amount of people wearing a Sesame Daddy t-shirt That T-shirt is going to make them a fucking fortune.
Insanity. And then you have the big match now because FTR have to call them out.
I don't know why. I still don't understand the ranking systems with AEW. Like,
I think it's gone. I read yesterday.
It has to go. It doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah.
There's no ranking. There was no ranking systems last night on
any. It's gone, I think.
Like Athena lost to Jade Cargill.
Yeah.
Pay-per-view. She lost last week in the tag team match, but yet she was in a title match.
Yeah, it definitely is finished. Like Dave was on about it.
We're going to that Keith Lee and Swerve. Do you think it's time they break up and go their separate ways?
Do you know what? I think Swerve is such a good person to hate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. I just love to hate him.
But he could be a monster heel. He could be a big time star like in AEW. Like,
oh yeah, they need these heels. They need extra talent to be in that main event scene because now we're getting sick of all these same faces.
Yeah. Put them in a feud against each other. Keith Lee versus Swerve. Is it better for Swerve to win or is it better for Keith Lee to win?
That's very hard. My heart says Keith Lee, but my head was going with Swerve.
I couldn't believe they were booing Keith Lee last night. I know they were trying to play up to the heel side of it, like, but Keith Lee's not a heel. Like they tried that in WWE and it just
doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work.
He can't be a heel. He's just too impressive.
I would Swerve. I'll say Swerve to go over if they feud.
They should do, but where does Keith Lee go from there?
I think he should go to the main event scene as a face.
Yeah.
He's so good. Like this time next year, you'd want him to be higher up the card at least.
I fucking hope so.
Like there's something about Keith Lee matches when he gets it right, it's magic.
Yeah, but look at it. The amount of titles that AEW have. Surely, he should be challenging for at least one of them in the next few months, or maybe up to Double or Nothing next year.
Like the thing is, like if he rebrands Ring of Honor, is Keith Lee going to be a big baby face on that brand?
Could be
on TV.
Could be. I'm not saying he needs a title. The title will make him heel, make the title kind of thing. But it would be nice for him to get up that card with higher up, because you see people having titles in AEW and that's as far as they go. Like, and they're not going to because of the way the AEW title has been for the last few months. Like it's hard for anybody else. Like you don't expect Jon Moxley, to have a short reign again. Like they had a short reign as an interim champion. He beat CM Punk in fucking 20 seconds, whatever it was. Then he lost to him. Now he's after winning the title again, and he defended it. Everybody expect him to lose it, but like, is he going to lose it quickly to MJF, or are they going to let it build up for months? Is there other people going to challenge him in between then? I know we won't spoil.
The winner of the Battle Royal fights him on the 18th.
Yeah, 18th of October. Yeah. Is it? It's kind of giving it away. Like he's obviously not going to lose that match in October.
No, I wouldn't.
MJF cashes in. Like, is it going to be like? Is he going to wait a whole year before he cashes in, or is it going to be a short reign for Moxley? The
thing is, Moxley's dying for that holiday break.
No, yeah, that's why I like. Before we can get into it, we'll go back to the rest of the card after. But
yeah,
Moxley was supposed to be gone for 6 weeks. Yeah. That's why I was like, Bryan Danielson should win. Moxley, it'll give Moxley the break he wanted.
Yeah,
and it doesn't hurt Bryan Danielson to lose to MJF if he cashes in.
Yeah,
on the show last night, because he cashed in on them, on the three of them. Like,
yeah, a couple of the marks, the Tony Khan marks, are saying that Bryan Danielson should have a proper reign when he wins his first title.
But
the problem with that is you're right. Like, why?
But he should. But now Moxley is in the he's in the fire line for another short title reign. Whether MJF cashes in this side of fucking Christmas or not,
The problem is whenever MJF wins it, he's going to have it until the contract runs out.
A good year.
He'll have it up until the thing will be taken down, and he'll have 3 weeks left.
Absolutely, that's exactly what you said last week, isn't it? The countdown. And
but it'll probably be with MJF rather than Terry.
Yeah, but like again, like it's the same theory, like that.
Yeah.
He won the title in January at the Winter's Coming or December Winter's Coming or whatever it is they have in December, and then he has it for a whole year, and it comes to the new year, and he still hasn't signed the contract. And they play up to it on TV. You know, he hasn't signed the contract, and he doesn't sign the contract right up until the day of the pay-per-view or the day of his last episode of Dynamite or whatever, and you know he shows up the next week and he actually did sign.
Yeah, that kind of thing, or else send him to MLW or something.
Send him the Ring of Honor if they get a DVD.
I'd love if they could strike a deal with Triple H where he comes on Raw for 1 week and then he's gone again.
Well, it's January 2024 and Royal Rumble shows up. Imagine if he came out to Royal Rumble as the AEW champion, had the Royal Rumble match and got kicked out and then went back to AEW.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Do Mickey James on it.
That would be brilliant. He's too smart for that though.
I know, but a big payday. Here you go. Here's fucking, you know, whatever, $100,000. They show up and, you know, do 5 minutes of work in the Royal Rumble, get thrown out by the Miz and go back to AEW.
You know, yeah. I'd love it if it would happen, but like,
I know it won't.
But he's even right. MJF, right? He's going to win the belt soon. Who does he feud with?
Everybody.
Wardlow.
Oh, I'd leave Wardlow a good year. Wardlow should be the one to dethrone him. If they build Wardlow up, if they can build him up again, because you know, his time as TNT champion is fucking floundered since MJF walked off. You know, he hasn't.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he hasn't. It kind of got the Adam Page rub where he was champion and he always had great matches, but it just didn't.
I know.
Up, like he peaked right there and he didn't go past it. Like
what's annoying is they mentioned that on TV, which is kind of like, how's that going to help him?
Doesn't. It can't be helped. It's the way it's been booked.
But so I know they didn't really clarify it, right? But can MJF cash in after a match? He can.
I presume it's similar stakes to the Money in the Bank where you can cash in anything you want. I don't know, is it cashing in you have to announce the match, or you just cash in and run in with another referee and you can pin them? I'm not sure officially if that's the case.
But like I said it years ago, and we talked about it like last year or whatever, but he's going to be the biggest star of wrestling in the next years.
Absolutely. He's going to say he's only in his early 20s, late 20s, whatever. He's 20.
Was he like 25, 26-ish?
Yeah. So like he has 20 years in him if he stays injury free, you know, relatively injury free. Like
he's very, very smart wrestler.
Yeah. The way he wrestles, he doesn't take big bumps.
Yeah.
You know, high risk stuff.
And he only wrestles when it's important. He doesn't do the
You don't see him every week, which makes him more important. It's, you know, like Moxley when he's interim champion, like he was wrestling every week, he was bleeding every week. It just made him
it was terrible. Yeah,
a little bit less special. Like, well, MJF came back, it was like, boom. It's been so long since.
Even in the ladder match, he wouldn't even take bumps. He just like, here you go. It's so funny.
That's perfect. He'll work like he'd take as little bumps as possible.
Yeah.
You know, obviously. Comparing him to Ric Flair took more bumps than he ever needed to.
But I think Triple H would see him as a huge star.
Yeah, well, anybody can see him as a huge star at this stage, like, you know, but it depends what MJF wants to do with the rest of his life. Does he want to wrestle and be at AEW and, you know, hopefully AEW gets to, you know, at some state level, or does he go to WWE, become a big star overnight and, you know, head for Hollywood in 10 years' time? Like, is that something he's interested in doing?
I would say so. Sure, remember his interview with Rosie O'Donnell when he was like 6?
No, yeah. So why wouldn't you? Like, who doesn't want to go to Hollywood and, you know, give fucking millions of dollars for fucking, you know how good of a talker he is. Like, so.
Oh, he's well able.
Go back into Dynamite again. We'll talk about MJF. His face off with Wheeler Yuta.
Yeah.
Wheeler couldn't keep up with him, could he?
No, he was trying a little bit too hard.
It was a bad episode of Yo Mama.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was like, he crashed and burned per Wheeler. But do you think Big Cass or Colin Cassidy or W. Morrissey, whatever they're calling him, does he fit in with this MJF stable?
We talked to my brother about the firm the other day. I think he does. I don't like the Moriarty there, and I don't like the Gun Club.
Yeah.
I think it should be Private Party, and there was someone else that we were saying, I can't remember. But Private Party and Brian Cage, that's what it was.
Yeah, where the fuck is Brian Cage at?
Yeah.
Wasn't he supposed to be in a fucking faction with Tully Blanchard's group?
Yeah, and Tully Blanchard quit. So
but Brian Cage signed a new contract with him as well.
A 1-year deal he signed, so he'll be up.
I thought he signed a new. Fuck.
No, I think he just signed a 1-year extension. So I could see Brian Cage on NXT actually come next year.
I'm still surprised that he signed on. Like, what happened? Who was in that faction with him?
There was a few of them.
Your man Kanu, was it Kanu? Your man Jerry interviewed there a few months back? He was in Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah. He was a Samoan guy. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But yeah, there was 3 lads, and then there was Tully. And then Tully decided that religion was more important than wrestling. So
is that what happened?
Yeah, he's got to be a preacher or a minister or something. Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tully Blanchard, what age is he? He's
76 or something.
And he decided that
he's practicing Christianity or something like that.
I didn't hear that at all.
That was a good few months back. And then they took Tully out and they put Prince Nana in, and then you haven't seen Prince Nana.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about him.
Yeah, and then they put him in there, and then he's not nowhere to be seen. So, but Tony Khan is going to book Final Battle in December. I'm going to go out and say Ladder War, Briscoes and FTR.
FTR again.
Was it?
Briscoes FTR again.
Yeah, their last match of the trilogy.
But did FTR win both of those matches? Hang on, no, they had a best
of 203, yeah.
But FTR won both of those, didn't they?
They did, yeah. But Tony Khan just wants of that match. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. They don't have anybody else.
That's the problem.
Want to sign the Briscoes to AEW, but
and you've Jay Lethal, who you're doing nothing with, which is such a shame.
Yeah, that's Sanjay Dutt stuff, and
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work at all. At all.
Well, none of that stuff works.
But they weren't on the show last night. The show last night was epic.
Yeah.
I've only read.
You know what was so good about last night's show is that there's no filler aspects.
Yeah, there was nothing. Like, there was no.
Even the Pac match, which we can go on to next if you want. He almost looked like he broke his neck twice in that match. Pac.
His neck muscles, I don't know how he does some of the stuff. That DDT he took where he arched back like a crab kind of thing.
The second one, yeah. Oh, but again, like Orange Cassidy gets a lot of hate, and I don't really like him either. But he delivers when
he doesn't have bad matches.
Yeah,
his matches are entertaining. If it's a cliche, we use it on the website. If it's entertaining, enjoy it.
Exactly.
Regardless of what you think of the person, if it's entertaining, you have to enjoy it. Like, it's like, go back fucking 10 or 12 years ago, everybody shit over the X Factor and all these reality shows. But when you sat down to watch them and you got stuck into them, you're like entertained for that hour.
Exactly.
Then you bash them afterwards, but in that hour you were getting entertained enough where you could sit there and get invested in whoever was singing, whoever was involved, like fucking Celebrity Jungle and all that shit. Like you don't give a fuck about the people in the jungle, but by God, is it entertaining?
Exactly. That's exactly it.
So just enjoy
it. With it. Yeah, like just go with what's there. Like, but
yeah,
there's just so much talent in AEW, and there's just so little time.
I know, and then a 2 hours Rampage afterwards, and he still didn't get to fit everybody in, or all the titles in. Yeah,
like I actually thought Pac's belt though, the Atlantic, was for overseas, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's when they originally started it. Like they wanted to defend it overseas just to make it feel like it doesn't belong just in America. Like, but
because the way they did that match last night is almost a setup for him to win it down the line.
When
Pockets like to beat
Cassidy.
Yeah. To finish of the match.
Yeah, well, they turned him. Well, they kind of turned him heel, didn't they? Does he turn heel with the trios titles? Like, are they going to turn heel again, or
they could do?
They tried that already, and it didn't really work because Ray Phoenix is so over. Penta, fair enough. Like, he went dark, and your man Alex and Andrew, whoever they had with him, they started off as a heel. Like, but they could just keep them the way the Blackpool Comic Club is one of them comes out the face tunnel, one of them comes out the heel tunnel, somebody else comes out through the crowd, that kind of thing.
Exactly. That would be cool, actually.
Pac has never been a face, really, though.
It doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. It's just
his character doesn't give a fuck. Like,
exactly.
When he comes out the ring, he doesn't, go up in the middle rope and cheer on things. Like, he pretends to, and he walks away, like, kind of stuff. And he doesn't take pictures with fans, like, and he doesn't really do interviews.
Like, even when we asked him for an interview, he's like, you can look it up. I literally don't do them.
Yeah, it doesn't work for his character.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not a heel turn. It's just he's a bastard.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they call him the bastard.
Yes, and then the 4-way women's match.
Yeah,
that was quite good.
Some good, some bad.
It's just like you said. Like, why are they in there if they're losing already to her?
Yeah.
Just before the match, just before we talk about it, actually, there's one thing my brother said the same thing. The fans were expected to know who. I'm just going off topic because I'm just.
Yeah. I get you.
The fans were off going on about who the fuck is Trina.
No idea.
Yeah, we were expected to know.
No idea.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. She's dating Kiera Hogan is what I looked it up.
She is dating like
in real life. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What is she?
That's why she said that's your girl.
She's a rapper, right? Is she, or hot top star?
I think so, yeah, but it was weird. I don't know. I don't get it.
We had a lot of, like, the two lads that come out during the tag team match as well. Never heard of them.
Great was there.
Like, but again, like, you look at it, there's more people in New York than there's in Ireland. So, like, there's a big scene in New York that's in New York. It doesn't go outside New York. There's a big, massive hip hop scene that stays in New York, and they want to stay in New York because that's who they are, and they don't want to give it to everybody else. So
that's it.
Maybe they're big stars in New York. They've got 9 million people in New York to look after them. There's only 5 million people in the whole island of Ireland.
That's it, exactly. But yeah, just back onto that 4-way. Just Tony Storm. I used to love Tony Storm. I don't know what it is. In the last year or so, is it she's lost her way, or there's something?
I don't know. I enjoy her. And she definitely deserves to be interim champion, whatever you call that. Whether they're
they need to change that.
Well, is it an official title run? Because Moxley's a 3-time champion, not a 4-time. The interim doesn't mean fucking shit.
So basically, they fucked up when they said 3 times last week.
Yeah. So does Tony Storm's title run mean anything in the record books? If she left AEW, if somebody come back, or Thunder Rosa come back and beat her, and Tony Storm left, which go down as a former AEW champion.
That's the thing. Like, I actually think Tony Storm's just going to beat Thunder Rosa when she returns, and then
she was scheduled to beat her anyway. So
I think Thunder Rosa's time in AEW is coming to an end, sadly.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of backstage gossip with her being unhappy about the way that she was booked as well, because we've said it already, she was booked terribly as champion, and she never got any proper TV time. Like, it was always backstage fucking interviews.
The problem is Tony Khan probably got like super excited after he saw that street fight, and it's like, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
The Lights Out match?
The one with Britt, and the first one they had.
Yeah, the Lights Out match. Yeah.
He probably was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen, and then he's like, It's almost like Vince McMahon, the kind of 3-4 weeks things kicks in and he's not feeling it anymore.
That's happened with a lot of people. A lot of people make their debuts and they show up and you see them for maybe a month or two and then they're gone again.
Well, Tony Nese is another one like that.
Yeah. Tony Nese is never going to be the guy, though, is he?
No. Ian Page, loads of them.
Who?
Huh?
Ethan Page?
Yeah.
I'm still holding hopes for him to be maybe beat Pac for the title in Toronto or something.
He could do, like, he's like when we used to watch Impact and he's part of the North. My brother were like, Ethan Page is going to be the star of him.
Well, yes, he's got star quality, but so does Ricky Starks. Like, and he lost in 5 minutes to Will Hobbs.
Yeah,
it's not over, like, but still, like,
you have to be very careful how you book these guys.
Yeah, because Ricky Starks, we thought he was young, but he's actually like 36.
Yeah, it's the same with Orange Cassidy, I'd say. He's also 37.
He's been around a long time.
Yeah. Getting his chance though. I actually thought Ricky Starks was way younger.
I thought that too.
Interesting.
He's been around the block as well. Like he came from where did they sign him from?
NWA Power.
Was it was too? Yeah.
Yeah. He was on that, but after the match, Jamie Hayter came out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon, just before we talk about this surprise, that she would have not turned on her if they didn't sign?
Yeah, that seemed to be the way they were going. They were breaking them up and they were having issues, but when they decided to sign somebody else from England, from another English star, we can say it anyway. Everybody's seen it at this stage. Anyway,
how do you pronounce her name?
Saraya.
I know Jerry, like from our pod, is a massive fan of Paige.
Yeah, he's been dying to get Paige over to do like a meet and greet, like fucking.
And he's met her a few times.
Yeah, he was in
New Orleans.
He was in the press box in New Orleans, wasn't he? With NXT, and she was there.
Yeah. So yeah, she is very good, but the problem is, like, what's their goal with her?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure is she there to wrestle? Is she there to compete? Because
like the pop was incredible. Like,
it was unbelievable. But she hasn't wrestled in what?
2017, is it 18?
7 years.
Yeah, she's not wrestled in a good 6-7 years.
Yeah. So like, if you look at the demo for AEW, like, there's probably people in that demo that have never seen her wrestle. And
the thing as well, like, I just read before we came on that Triple H wanted to re-sign her.
Yeah.
Before she went to AEW.
He should have had her back in NXT long ago.
Yeah, so see, I'd be okay with her wrestling 5-6 matches a year. Because it's I don't want it to be like remember, like with Austin, every fucking bump on the neck and you're cringe.
But
yeah,
there's a lot of bad bumps in AEW.
There's a lot of bad falls. Yeah,
it's not a slow paced. They don't have slow paced matches.
And there's
there's a lot of bumps, nothing against the women's division, but there seems to be a lot of bad bumps.
The last weeks, like, if you go back to Ruby Soho, who broke her nose.
Yeah.
Now be out.
Even with Britt Baker broke her nose when Athena did the follow slam with.
Oh, just last night.
Yeah, well, she did she had that spot where she was walking around with the two of them on her shoulders. When she did the follow slam, Britt Baker actually went behind her and she actually landed on top of her and squashed her fucking face. That's how she broke her nose.
Yeah, so again, you said dodgy.
Well, you wouldn't want her taking bumps like that either, like.
No.
And the way Paige used to go, like, she's not a ground and pound, like, slow paced person. Like, she usually dives out the ropes and
like, I'm assuming she's been training for matches, because if she just goes back out there, it's not the same.
Yeah, of course, she's been training to get back in the ring for fucking, best part of fucking 5 years. Once,
like, who do you?
Once Edge came back, she went straight into it. She found out Edge could come back. The first thing she did was go and get assessed, and she went back training again to get her neck back. Edge put her on the path to, like, if he can do it, she can do it. But you know, WWE weren't reluctant.
The thing is, like, she was 21 years old when she won the Divas title.
Yeah.
She's still not 30.
Right. Oh, she just turned 30 this year, yeah.
Okay, so she's just turned 30. But that's kind of mad.
You know, so you know, if she's medically cleared and she doesn't take bad bumps, you know, you get 10 years of her competing. But I don't know how many matches, like you said, I don't know how many matches a year she's going to have.
Make the matches important, that's all.
They should be important. Like, you don't want her showing up in dark.
Well, her and Jamie Hayter on a random dark would be weird.
Her and anybody on dark would be weird. You know, she should be there. Like, if she is having matches, you know, with Britt Baker or Jamie Hayter or fucking Thunder Rosa or whoever, like, there's plenty of matches there, and she could, you know, eventually face Jade Cargill or something. Like,
that would be the audacious. She would actually, yeah, exactly. To need somebody to take that belt off of Jade.
Like, there's a legit person right there who could actually be the person to do it.
So how long has she have it now? Over a year?
Long
time.
When did she win it?
She's definitely over a year.
Was it? Really?
Maybe it was just January this year, maybe.
Who had? Well, oh yeah, it was the competition. Yeah, it was January, wasn't it? They were doing the competition in September.
TBS Women's Champion. October last year.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the tournament started, so it probably did.
Full gear, no?
It didn't end until January. Yeah, I was right.
Oh, January, yeah.
The final was January.
All right. She'll definitely get a year out of it.
Without a doubt. Or
to double or nothing. Like I said, I keep saying it, that she needs to beat, because she said it on the promo as well before, when you said what you want Trina, that she was going for the other belt and she'll eventually go for it. I think she'd go for a double or nothing next year and be double champ.
Could very well be.
And then I don't know what she does, like, relinquish one of the titles, you know, stay undefeated as TBS champion, and, you know, give it to somebody else, let them have a tournament over, and she can keep the women's title.
Yeah.
Keep her undefeated for another year then with that.
260 days she has it so far.
34 wins in a row, is that right? 34 in a row?
I think it is something like that, yeah. Like, she is obviously, like, it depends who she's in there with, obviously. She's still not.
Oh yeah, she's still a rookie.
Yeah.
She's still in a rookie period in there. Like, she hasn't.
How old is Jade?
I have no idea.
She's actually just turned 30.
So, she's that old?
Yeah, just turned 30.
So she's the same age as Paige.
Yeah.
That's mad.
And apparently Bryan Daniel was that?
Was she a basketball player?
I think she might have been, yeah. And Bryan Danielson's been training her the last few months.
No better buckle.
Yeah. So hopefully she'll improve.
Where does he go from here now? Actually, when I mention it, what happens to the Combat Club now? I know the way they ended it. We saw another clip online, like, they put the belt around Moxley's waist, but they didn't show that at the end of. But Dynamite last night, they stopped with him just grabbing the belt out of Regal's hands. But
it's a tough one. Maybe the trios belts.
With who? Claudio and him and Wheeler, maybe? No.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
They don't have they've lost all their belts now, haven't they?
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much the whole show, is it?
Yeah, that was everything. It was a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Definitely expecting them to do big numbers in the ratings.
It's not yet. I'm just going to check just before we end. Sean Rastak, he put it up, wouldn't he?
No, Brian Alvarez or maybe somebody else.
Okay, let's have one quick look. And we'll see. Nothing yet.
No,
not yet. I'd say it'd be another while.
Yeah.
But it probably will be out today at some point. It's really weird though, just because today's Thursday, that there's no NXT UK. I used to always love watching it.
Yeah. Well, I hope it comes back soon enough. They're saying it may be back for WrestleMania next year, so they could have like some sort of pay-per-view in time or prior to WrestleMania next year for Europe.
Makes sense.
Build up something, new title. Hopefully they'll have a UK pay-per-view again next year then for WWE and have some of the
probably have to be like Cardiff because they have a roof.
That's all they have. Well, they could go to Amsterdam. Ajax have a roof.
That would be sick, actually.
Or they can go to Spain or somewhere where they're guaranteed the weather.
That also would be cool. I'd love that.
Imagine it in the new camp.
Yeah.
Barcelona need the money.
Yeah, it's true. They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Anything else happening this weekend? Any other events coming up, Phil?
Just Impact have a special tomorrow night.
Any matches announced?
Mike Bailey will be defending his belt against Delirious, which is a weird one.
Yeah.
I think it's just a one-off. I don't think Delirious has signed for Impact Wrestling or anything.
No update on anybody else leaving Impact yet, is there?
Deanna is probably leaving. Honor No More, a lot of those guys.
Oh, I heard actually something about Matt Taven and
yeah, Matt Taven, Maria. Maria is she's trying to get a job in WWE again.
Oh yeah, really?
Maria Canellis, yeah.
Oh, God, the way they treated her last night, I know, different era, but fucking hell, they treated them like shit.
Chelsea Green and Mark Cardona have no contracts.
They're happy. They're happy to float around.
They're an OTT next month, so
yeah, where we'll be at that.
That should be savage.
Unreal.
There's a load. I think half their roster. I think Impact are in big trouble. I think half their roster is up for renewal. I think Deanna's a big one if they lose her.
That's a big get. Whoever gets Deanna Purrazzo's going to benefit.
The problem is, like, she might. If I was her, I'd go to NXT again and
Is she friends with Britt Baker?
Yeah, I think they're friends, but I don't know. They're really close.
They're not tag team champions anymore. Deanna and
Chelsea Green are.
Are they still champions?
Yeah, yeah.
And the Good Brothers, are they?
They're gone, released.
They're no longer champions. So who's the champions?
The champions are Matt Taven and
oh yeah.
Mike Bennett.
Mike Bennett, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and the big Bound for Glory, I suppose we kind of leave it at this, but Bound for Glory is Josh Alexander and Eddie Edwards, which I'm very disappointed in. I just don't think it's a big enough match.
Who's left there from the face?
But like they've done
again. Yeah.
They've done moves, and Steve Macklin is another great one. They should be pushing to the moon.
I think Josh I'm nothing against Impact or anything, but I think Josh Alexander should have went.
I think the problem is if it was now that his contract was up, he'd get an NXT slot, no bother. Back then, no one wanted him because he was his age, and Vince McMahon wouldn't go near him.
Yeah. He's phenomenal. Like he deserves a bigger stage.
I think Deanna though is going to go to NXT mainly because of the reaction she got when she went to Dynamite last year.
Right.
She went to Dynamite and there was no reaction whatsoever when she came out.
Just to mention one thing, regarding the lethal weapon, the walking weapon. Kurt Angle has actually been out talking about maybe the possibility of having another match. I know you mentioned Ric Flair's having another match, but it's Ric Flair being Ric Flair. But Kurt Angle says there may be, and I'm not sure it's maybe a rumor, but he was asked about people he would like to have a match with: Roman Reigns, John Cena, like Seth Rollins, Chad Gable. But I think Josh Alexander, if it ever happened that Kurt Angle was going to come back for one more match, I would put him in with Josh Alexander.
Oh, beyond yeah.
That would be fucking unbelievable match.
I think, and then Impact as well, just going off, and they need to sign new talent and they need to sign them ASAP.
Right thing. There's a lot of talent out there, like.
Well, there's a lot of fellas there, like even though we were talking about the other day, Kid Bandito.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these kind of really up and coming, really good talented wrestlers. Mike Bailey as well is probably another one whose contract is corner.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mike Bailey and Paco at it again.
Yeah, all be quality.
That would be like what's it, All Atlantic title match? That would be something.
It would be class, yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much.
Yeah. Anything else you want to plug? Any film festivals or any short movies we're expecting to come up in the cinemas?
2 weeks time, the Indie Cork Festival.
Yes.
One to watch out for. The times aren't out yet, but
okay.
Hopefully by Monday's show we'll have times and.
Okay. Look out for it. In the Gate Cinema, yeah.
In the Gate Cinema.
Oh yeah, and it's a Cork Indie Festival.
Cork Indie Festival, yeah.
Brilliant.
We should be in a few things, and if we can have to give I don't have to give a speech, but he will bring me up, and I hate public speaking.
You write something down.
No,
Thank you. Goodbye.
But to be fair, he asked you a question. That's fine.
Nah, you'd be grand.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. That's this week's show. Hell of a week of wrestling. Big week coming ahead. We cannot wait to see what happens in Dynamite next week with Raw. SmackDown coming up on Friday tonight. If you're watching this live on Friday night, big news coming out of SmackDown. We're expecting some. I actually mentioned that Solo Sikoa had to drop the NXT North American title, so he's going to show up on SmackDown tomorrow night. Roman Reigns is booked. He's scheduled to appear, so I'm wondering if he's going to be happy at Solo gave up his title without a fight.
Yeah.
So expect some shenanigans tomorrow night, I'd say. If you're not following us already, check out the Irish Wrestling Entertainment YouTube channel. We just dropped an interview with Progress Corner, Lee McAteer, this evening, or yesterday evening, Thursday, just ahead of their show this Sunday. Big demo against Luke Jacobs and Spike against Man Like Darius. Some big matches this weekend.
Is that on any streaming services or anything?
No, you'll be able to find it on the network, WWE Network, in a couple of weeks' time. The show from Cardiff is actually up there now, the one we were at.
Nice.
Luke Jacobs had a great match in that, so if you get a chance, go and watch that. It was a banger of a match. But again, lads, pleasure as always, Phil.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll be back on Monday.
Back on Monday, Tuesday evening, whenever you watch it. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, subscribe, leave comments below if there's anything you want us to talk about, any interviews or anybody like that you'd like us to reach out to, let us know. We'll get on to Jerry. Anybody going to Bellator in Dublin this weekend as well? I'll be up there. There's a few people from the wrestling community who are obviously into MMA, so they'll be all around. So if you're anybody there, see me around, give us a shout out. And check out the Sports Matters YouTube channel as well. So Jerry and Phil were up there doing the media day with people like, Yul Romero, the most man, the Rock was chiseled out of stone. Yul Romero was chiseled out of granite. Some great fights tonight, Friday night in Bellator in Dublin. So check that out as well on the Sports Matters YouTube channel. But for now, lads, have a good evening, and we'll talk to you Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.